I'm going to give some tips about what you should do, what you should not do just before and during the exam, okay? So we're going to look at past paper. So if you look at the front of your past paper, it says that you need to answer all the questions. It's very important. You never know. Maybe you'll be right, even if you don't know. You've got 5 minutes at the very start of the test, so just before they play the tape, to make notes and just read the questions. So it's very, very important that the first thing you do, even if you don't understand anything in French, is to read the questions. So just to understand and to be clear about what you're expected to be listening to. So if they're asking you about where or when, it's very important that you're not missing the whole point. So each question has a mark and it's shown into a bracket. So it's also very important that you look at how many points for each question, how much time you should be spending on each question. So during these 5 minutes, it's very important that you use that time very wisely to make notes. So my advice would be to write keywords. Keywords are words that you're probably going to hear because you've been hearing that for now 2 years. My tip number 2 would be stay positive. It's very important that you keep in mind that yes, it can be very, very daunting, but please don't panic. You're not expected to understand every single word in your listening. If the passages are long or if people are speaking very quickly, there's probably a lot of redundant language going on. So be positive, concentrate on what you do understand, and you need to remember the passage might be difficult, but the questions might be very easy. My tip number 3 would be use your knowledge of grammar. So for example, it may be important to know whether someone is talking about the past or the future, if someone is using a negative or a positive. So when you're giving opinions, it's very important that you're looking at some keywords. My tip number 4 would be use your knowledge of France itself. So on French-speaking countries. So for example, if you hear people mentioning the N7 or la N255, maybe they're actually talking about roads. So if I were you, I would check up some facts about France, just to help. My tip number 5 would be, don't just listen to words. The tone of the person might actually help you a lot to understand their opinion or their mood. So if they're really, really angry, you're going to hear, wah, 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 wah. Even if you don't understand, that's a big clue. The intonation of someone's voice as well may tell you if they're making a statement and if they're asking a question. So there's a lot of difference between ça va and ça va. Okay? My tip number 6 would be, if you have to write some answers in French, be as clear as possible. Please, please, please. Write as many details you can. And remember that you're going to be penalized for small mistakes. So be very careful what you write. And here we go with our first example. So the first thing you need to look at is the title, future plans, and the question. What do these young people want to do? So we're talking about Maxine, Estelle, Benoit, and Marina. So we're going to talk about their own future plans, what they want to do later in life. So it's very important that you look at the words, the suggestions of what these people might be doing. So something about be famous. So you need to look at some keywords there. So maybe they want to, if they talk about fame, it could be about la célébrité. Or maybe they want to be connu. So you can actually write célébrité. It's harder to write with the camera on. They could be talking about travel, so that's voyager. Be a sporting champion. So champion, that's That's the same word in French, le champion, and sports, un champion de sport. Maybe they're even mentioning a sport. I don't know. Maybe they're talking about judo or taekwondo. I don't know. Working outside, so you have the word travailler. Maybe à l'extérieur. That's outside. Okay? Go to university is already done, and it's université, very similar. Do a job she or he likes, so you know opinions, so you should hear j'aime or j'adore. Oops. The job, le travail, help others. Help is aider. So you should be looking at words you already know. Right, and that's all from me. So if you have any concern about what you should be doing for your next exam, please ask your teacher. Look online, there are so many websites with past paper, so you can type it on Google. You can make yourself some lists, vocabulary lists, and the main thing is do not panic and everything will be okay if you revise well. All right, bonne chance!